Hey guys, it's Wowous. We're here with Heroes of the Storm, and today we're going to be looking at Anub'Arak and his Beetle build that's been updated with this most recent patch. It's great to have you here with me. I took a little bit of a break due to a bit of a cold, and I was under the weather and my voice was pretty shot, so I haven't put out a video in a little while, but thanks for joining me here. The Beetle build, I've played it a bunch in the past week since the patch came out. And it seems to be really, really strong. I think some of the small buffs that they've made, as well as how the armor has been updated and whatnot through the last couple of patches, has actually made one of the best warriors, in my opinion, right now in terms of just overall strength. So we'll take a look and see how this goes on Towers of Doom. Overall, we have a pretty good team build. I've seen definitely some pretty terrible team builds in the last couple of weeks, but this one isn't too bad. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna do legions of beetles to spawn some more beetles, and to kind of go through what I'll be doing. I'm gonna pick up bed of barbs, which is pretty much the best in this. There's not really a beetle option here. I'm going to do leeching scarabs, which is really essential in this beetle build. I do locust swarm, burning rage, then I'll be doing beetle juiced, and I'll wrap it up with Hive Master to give me a little bit more push. So this is really a sustain build. You can stay in a battle for a really long time, especially with all the healing and all the beetles. And it's also a pretty good push build, so I can sometimes out siege damage some of the specialists and some of the other heroes that are pretty good at that. Let's see if we can get him here. See, already we're off to a pretty good start here. We're gonna get to lanes. Probius is pushing pretty hard here. Let's see if we can knock him off. For whatever reason, a lot of players have been playing Probius over the last week or two. I've seen Probius probably more in the last week that I've seen him since he came out. I'm not a huge Probius fan. I can play him, but he's not a character that I usually pick unless I'm trying to level him up or whatnot. But he definitely has some interesting strengths. But I wonder how this matchup will go. I feel like we can pretty much keep him out of this by just harassing him with my different skills. He's going to make it difficult for me to push, though. That's going to be the challenge. Let's see if we can knock out this crystal. I always go for the crystal because the crystal is much easier to take down than this. It's, you know, obviously if he has two crystals up, it's going to take a long time to knock out his turret, but with one crystal, you can get rid of it pretty quickly. Bed of Barbs does a good job of just adding a little bit of damage. You can see the damage over time that pops in these, so that's really helpful. Just to add a little bit more damage to that, and especially if you hit a row of like minions, you can put out a lot of damage with that. 30 seconds until the altars drop. My strategy in general on Towers of Doom is I like to push as hard as I can. I don't think I'll have enough push against Probius to actually push down stuff too quickly. But in general, if you can knock down one of the towers pretty early, you can get a pretty sizable advantage on every single one of these altars. Because you swing it really 2 for every single one that you do. I'm gonna just see if I can harass. Well, hopefully my team grabs these other ones. Pop up on top of Lucio here. So we've split the first 2. Now it's just up to this one. We got Probius. Now we just need to keep Lucio and Arthas away. You're definitely weakest with the noob during the first 6 levels, up until when you get the heal on this Beetle build. You just don't have the sustain. You can certainly use your shield like that to push it back and whatnot, but once you get the healing of your beetles, you really have a huge increase in your overall strength. So let's grab that real quick, because now it's going to heal up with each beetle. So the more you drop, the more of your your skills you use. You're just increasing your healing pretty much. And definitely it's very difficult to push down a noob once he has a bunch of beetles out, because each time they hit, they're healing you for, let's see, right now it's about 16. So if you've got 3 or 4 beetles out, you're gonna end up getting healed up pretty quickly. We're gonna go back and fountain real quick. So far we're off to a pretty good start. We won 2 of the 3 towers to begin with. Let's see, and you can see that damage really does a lot of damage over time. Let's see if we can push this down. Here they come. Let's head down to the bottom and see what we can do.
The altars belong to those who claim them.
Definitely jumped further than I wanted to there with my burrow. Even if you can keep them stunned and off for a little bit, that would be helpful. Let's see if we can get Arthas here with our ult. Yep. And Anub has a really great body block, as you can see. He's just so big that if you can really get in the way of somebody, you can pretty much, if you can burrow on the other side of them, oof, that's not going to end well. Let's see if we can help them escape. But yeah, you really have to use the burrow to get on the other side of heroes, and then you can sometimes trap them pretty well, especially with your ult if you're using the swarm. Come on. Just trying to get out as many beetles as I can. One thing is, too, that the beetles, remember, draw the focus off of your hero, so they target it just like a minion. So if your heroes are all here and there's no minions, you just keep using your abilities, even if you're not targeting someone necessarily, so that the towers here will focus those beetles as opposed to your fellow heroes. So you can really get an effective push, because you can basically keep dropping beetles up until the next minion wave hits. So if you're up against one of the forts or whatnot, you can really do a pretty good push by just continually dropping your beetles on top of it. This Probius is driving me nuts. He's just annoying more than anything. Like, he's not going to kill me, but he's just going to stop my push, because he has a pretty effective push as well. Meanwhile, my team needs to rotate off bottom. I don't know why they're sitting down there. Let's get out of here. I'm going to grab my fountain here just to get my mana back up before this next altar drops. Take Burning Rage. Surprise. Oh, there's a bunch of them. Where the heck's my team? Lucio dropped his shield. I gotta get away from these Probius things. There we go. Maybe we can take down these two while we're here. You can see this is pretty, you know, with one tower down, you're swinging 5 versus 3 on any sort of win of the towers, and we've been able to do that pretty consistently this game, which has been great. You know, hopefully Imperius comes back. Yeah, the AI is terrible with some of these heroes in this game, and I think anybody that's experienced that, it's just frustrating. I wish they would adopt more of the Dota 2 style of, you know, somebody gets an abandon after a couple of minutes, and then you have the option to leave the game if you're getting killed with no penalty if someone else in your team abandons the game. So the Dota 2 style of abandons, but you know, it is what it is. In this game, I'm not going to complain because we're winning, and we've got almost every fort, so let's see if we can push back the top.
Who's that? I don't remember which one, but welcome back.
Oh, there he is. Well, there he goes.
Oh, and what's the rule?
I noticed a lot of that recently. I mean, I think it's players' internet connections, because it's not consistent, but just a lot of players just drop, come back, drop, come back. Very bizarre. Reconnecting is also a pain in this game, but, you know, what are you going to do? I don't think it's a top priority for the team right now. Get me out of here. I think I'm dead. Oof, just barely made it out.
So they return. Capture the altars quickly, heroes. Our towers assail the Raven Lord.
See, the good thing about being this far ahead is you just need to match. So you just need to win, you know, if there's 2 towers that pop, we just need to win 1 tower each time and we'll win the game. So as long as we can stay consistent, we don't need to worry about winning every single tower. Let's see if we can take him down. You can see there the ultimate is just so powerful between the healing it does to you and the damage that it outputs, especially on a single target. It obviously gets split up, as you can see it does 116 to nearby enemies and then restores 39 health. So it tends to be more effective, obviously, when it's like when you're one-on-one with a hero. So that's really great if you can burrow into somebody and then drop that on them, especially if they can't escape. If you trap them and body block them. Did we lose both?
Do not resist.
Whoa. Back up. There's not a very effective ult by Proteus unless he was trying to just push us back.
Near our core that leads to the battleground center.
There's 4 of them up here.
Oh, my heroes shall have this gift as well.
I am renewed, servant.
We're back to about even. I was hoping that we'd be able to push down that top fort here and be able to really start putting out a lot of damage, but the minions and whatnot have definitely been able to push them back. Here just to try to sustain a little bit. Oh my gosh, he's tough to kill. Yeah, not ideal to die right there with 3 altars just about to pop and they're pushing down this tower. They're going to get Imperius in all likelihood because he's just a stupid AI. This is going to be one of those games that's going to swing the other way. And it's mainly because of the AI. I mean, we didn't all of a sudden get worse, so that's a nice move by Greymane to at least stop them. But we're gonna take, let's see, we're gonna be down to 20 here. All right, so it's 2013. All right, we need to push down probably one of these towers. See if we can get mid going. Proteus, you can see here, has just been beasting. Gazelle is doing pretty well as well, so it's really tough to push against the two of them. So much push potential, but we'll see what we can do with our team here. We just need to have a good team fight, and I mean, part of this is Imperius being an AI is not going to be super helpful on any of that, but let's see what we can do. At least, you know, we've got all of their the gates down and whatnot, so we should be able to push this pretty quickly. I know. Okay. There we go. Stun him. Now let's just push this down. We should be able to push this right here, and then finally get our Hive Master. That will really help our push here. Oh, Pierce came back. Alright, let's see if we can... see if we can at least cut off this wave so it lets our minions push up against the... Alright, let's get in there. You can see our push damage is pretty good. Let's get us back to even here. I've always liked this Hive Master. You know, it does a lot of damage. You look at it, it does every 3 seconds 335 damage and heals for 81. That really gives you a lot of sustainability and push. It works well both in team fights and in situations like this. It's basically paying off, you know, minions pretty quickly. It's the whole enemy team. Just scare him off with our ultimate. Oh, well, that's no good. To get these guys pushed down. Oof. Your team has just got a really good comp for team fighting. There's not much more I can do, right? I feel like we're gonna end up losing this the way this is going. They're gonna get both of these. They're doing 5, so that would be at 9. We need to win a team fight is what needs to happen at this point. They're gonna push down, probably top if they're smart. Not looking so good. I mean, this build has worked pretty well. You know, both times I got killed, I've been basically, you know, against their entire 5-man. Greymane's died quite a bit, but he is a very divey hero. This guy talking, definitely telling it like it is, which is always hilarious. Alright, let's see what we can do. Yeah, this is not gonna go well. Get out of here. We don't have... Right. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, unfortunately we're going to lose that bottom tower, which is going to be it. So, overall, you can see the Beetle Build is very strong. You know, this team fight wasn't the best, but overall, I do really like this Beetle Build. It's something that I've been playing pretty consistently this week. Definitely try it out. You'll see that you have a really great stain. You've got a lot of push damage. You can do a lot of hero damage. You know, in terms of this, in terms of being on the losing side, there's not much more you can do, right, than lead basically every stack category other than maybe kills, and that's normal for a noob. So, hope you guys enjoyed. If you'd like to see more, definitely subscribe, like, throw down a comment. Thanks so much.